Greetings. I am Phoenix-Ism, owner, designer, herbalist, and creator at Phoenix-Ism. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is our second jewelry making tutorial. I am ever so excited to be able to even offer this to you all in this stage of our business. Phoenix-Ism is almost 2 years old, you guys. I'm so excited, so excited, but we're not going to talk about that today. We're going to talk about this pendant that we're getting ready to make today, right now, right here. So let me show you. It should be about right here, right here. What we're getting ready to create today with this beautiful red howlite piece. Now, howlite is more of a white stone and it gets dyed, and it can look very fantastic when it's dyed. You can get it in a blue to where it'll look turquoise, and you can get it in this fabulous red here as well. So before we begin, as always, we're going to go on and discuss this beautiful red howlite here. All right, so howlite is a great stone to reduce anxiety, tension, stress, and anger. It is very gentle. It's soothing and it's calming. So the energy, it'll cleanse the energies around you. So that is always amazing and wonderful. So red is also associated with your base chakra. So it helps with supporting energy and basic survival instincts. So this is one stone that is great for attunement. So attunement is when you are being granted access to like healing energies, or just being kind of an initiation, I guess you can say. Energy initiation is an impartation. You know, aiding in whatever services that you're doing. So if you're like a Reiki practitioner or a spiritual energy healing practitioner, this is a great stone for you. All right, so I've just cleaned it off and wiped it off and all that good stuff. And when I'm complete and done with this, I also like to do energy cleansing and healing, just to send some good energy to the recipient. So also, this is also a great stone for higher spiritual consciousness. So if you're on a journey of elevating and increasing your spirituality, or even developing your spirituality, this is a great stone for you. All right. So now we're going to talk about the things that are needed. You're going to need at least about 2 gauges, or at least 2 gauges of wire. What I do have here is 3 because I'm actually going to be doing some weave work. So I have a 26 gauge here. I have a 16 gauge copper wire here. And I have a 20 gauge wire here, just in case I might want to do some spiral work or anything like this. Just so you know, we are freestyling this here today. So we're going to freak it and make sure that it is lovely. All right, you're also going to need some round nose pliers. You just might have to do some coiling or some spiraling, or, you know, get a loop going or something like that. These are going to be the ones that are going to take care of that for you. You are also going to need needle nose pliers, as they call these here. Great for getting in those little small areas, get a nice bend if need be. You can also use your flat nose. Just in case you need to get sharp bends or anything like that. This will do it for you. You're also going to need your flush cutters, and again, you guys bear with my pair. I've had them for a while. They got a little tip broken off, but we're going to be getting a new pair very soon. All right, so sit back, relax, grab you a cup of tea, light an incense or some resin, and let's get to creating. So my space is clear here, and we are working with our piece. Now this wonderful howlite piece just so happens to be a bead. So you're going to be able to use a base wire within there to secure and make the bell extra strong. I don't know how much of that base wire I'm going to use, but we are going to begin nonetheless. So you want to start off by looking at your piece, and you want to find out what side needs to be the front of the piece. Now this side of this one is a little bit more flatter than this side, and to me that makes it feel more like the back of the piece. But then also you have more designs here. Let me turn the light on for you. There we go. So you have a little bit of more of a pattern going on here. You can see some of the markings from the natural stone, and I think that's beautiful, you know, more than what's here on the back side. So we're going to use this as the front. And for the base wire, again, we're going to go on and use it 16 gauge. Now sometimes this gauge won't fit on the bead, so we have other gauges here just in case it doesn't fit, but I don't think we'll have a problem with this one. Now I like to straighten out as much as I possibly can before putting them in there, because sometimes that's an issue as well. So I'm gonna go on and pull this open. Let's see how much of this we can get in there. Let's see here. There we go. Stop being stubborn. Perfect. It fit perfectly, and you see it kind of stopped right there. So we're going to stop right there as well. And we're going to use this upper portion here to create our bell. Now we're going to go on and start now. We're going to leave about that much space in between so that as we're wrapping and doing our designs, we have somewhere to secure it if need be. So since this is the front and this is the back, we'll begin with either taking this along the side or along this side, but we can also, I'm going to take it off and just show you guys an alternative. You can also take wire that has already been cut, and I have some here that I've already cut, so that you can begin to do more of a weave pattern before you begin. So again, I'm going to put this back through. Okay, that back through. And in deciding what you want to do, you might want to keep a little bit of a loop down here at the bottom, just giving you enough space to use as an anchor for the wires that you're going to be attaching. So we're going to do that here. And then I'm going to go on and take this around one time to secure this base wire. All right. And I'm going to go on and use my flat nose wire so we can get a good snug hold. And we're going to cut here because we only need to go around about one time. All right. Make sure that it's positioned the way you want it to go. And you want to bend it right at the right at the bend. Okay, and that might be still just a little bit too low, but maybe we can push this up slightly. Yeah, there we go. And go on and bring it in. I like to try and keep a little spaces here just in case I need to secure something. So I'm gonna go on and take my needle nose here. Bring this a little closer. Okay, and then we're going to begin to wrap it around the base wire here. All right. Okay. Ooh, this is some stiff wire, a little stiffer than what I'm used to working with, but it's okay. All right, so now that we have it here, I'm going to go on and cut it there and secure it around. Bring it up slightly, clip. Now I wasn't trying to get a flush cut, if you guys were wondering. I just made sure that I got a nice cut there. I hope you can see this. Yeah, you should be able to see it great. All right, and then you want to pinch it on around. Okay, pinch it on around. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just want to be able to just get that little base going right here. Okay, and you can straighten this back up like so. No worries. No worries. See? There we go. All right, so we're going to set this aside, and we're going to begin a weave pattern that I really like. And I think it would be really nice on kind of the side portion. So we don't need a whole lot of wire, right? So let's see how we're going to do this. I think I'm going to attach what I do end up with on this back portion here, because we have enough space to secure some wires. And it's going to be a little different from what you see other people do. I'm a little different, a little unorthodox sometimes with my methods, and I just do what feels good for me. All right, so we're going to cut a few lengths, and let me see if I have a ruler. I think I have a ruler, little piece of ruler, little piece of ruler, but it will work. All right, so the piece itself, it's only about an inch and a half long, exactly. So we're going to probably use, let's see, an inch and a half there, right? And then we got an inch and a half here, and then an inch and a half there. So let's take it up to here, and that'll be 7 inches. Okay. So, I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't have my other ruler in here. So, just going to take this tip out here. It really doesn't have to be this long, but we might want to do some wrapping it around or something like that, right? And you know me. I'm still going to go a little bit more than that. And so now we're going to match all the rest of them up with that. And I want to do at least 4 right now. At least 4 lengths. So here we go. Okay, so it's 2. This is 3 here. And we got 1 more. I don't know if you guys can hear, my children in the background are having a ball right now. I just love how they can play with each other and, you know, have such a good time while doing it. You know, some siblings don't get along, but I'm grateful that they do get along, even in their age difference. They get along and have a ball. So you'll probably hear them quite often in my videos. Pretty much what I'm trying to say. You know how kiddos are. All right, so here we are with the 4 lengths. And what we're going to do is begin maybe a 1-in-1 weave. Now, a 1-in-1 weave means that you're going to go and wrap 1 time, and then go to the next one once, and when you're going to do the same thing going downward on the back side. So hopefully I'll be able to show you exactly how to do this weave without any issues or problems. And we are going to use our 26 gauge for this weave work. While some people don't mind using a larger gauge, I want to use this gauge because it's not going to give me a, you know, a hard time, and I don't have to muscle the wire where I want it to go. You guys seen me use this gauge before. The only thing with this gauge is that it kinks a lot easier than any other gauge, and so we want to make sure that we don't get very many kinks. So I'm going to go on and open open this up and get as much wire as I need to begin my wrap. And also I'll show you if we get to a point where we run out of the weaving wire, the 26 gauge, then I will show you how to pick up where you left off and keep moving forward. Okay? It's quite easy, But I think this might be enough for now. So we're going to pull this last bit of this length out. I cannot tell you how much I am using here because I'm kind of eyeballing right now. And really, to be honest, with this type of wire, that's probably the best thing to do. This may be about a yard. It may, yeah, about a yard or a little bit more. So we're going to go on and put this piece aside, and we're going to go on and begin our weave. Now, you want to leave some of this wire out again because I want to be able to attach it to the back. You see how I can fit them in there? Hold on. Let's see. Here we go. You see how I can fit them in there, no problem. This is what I want. I want to be able to fit them back in there and attach them to the base wire and be able to wrap them around and all that good stuff however I like. So we're going to do this weave pattern about 1.5 inches, which is about this size, because I kind of want it to go around the piece on this side. So let's see. And I'm going to leave about a little more than 1/2 inch out to work with. So begin with that bottom wire. Go ahead and put it in. And for this weave, you have to start on the outside. So let's anchor ourselves first by going around a few times to anchor ourselves. All right. So don't get confused. Just know that you have an anchor at the end. Okay. Remember your anchor. You're going to grab the second wire. And I just might, let's see here. But sometimes I begin this in the wrong way, so just let me fool with it real quick. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if I got it right here. Then the one. Yeah, here we go. That's the one for the second wire. Okay. And this one you're going to want to keep very close because of the type of pattern that you're doing here. And let me see, let me zoom in just a little bit more, a little closer for you to see. How is that? I think that's good there. All right, so let's put the next wire on. All right, and you loop around and under the next base wire there. You want to take it and tuck it. Make sure that it's nice and tight. Okay, there. All right, and you're going to grab your last one, and you want to place it there on top. Get it close as you can. Okay, and then you want to wrap it again, go on around and between and back up. Okay, so at this point you're going to come down through the front. Okay, so coming through the front, you're going to come over and you're going to wrap again. Oh, I'm sorry. You're going to go over the two, sorry, because now you have your first one there already, right? You're going to go on and wrap around the top second wire and do it once again. Go down to under the third and fourth and back up between the second and third. So I'm doing this from the top down, numbering the base wires. Okay, so the terminology. All right, the wires that you're wrapping around will be considered your base wire. Okay, it's your base wire. The wire that you're using to actually do the weave pattern or the pattern would be your weaving wire. So these are the terms you're going to hear me use when I'm showing you these weave patterns in these tutorials. Okay, so now you're going to go down around the last wire and you're going to just wrap around it. Okay, wrap around it and make sure it's a good tight weave, good and tight. Okay, There we go. See? Now you're going to go up the same way you went up this one. Okay. Okay. So you go up. You already have your bottom one wrapped from coming downward. So you're going to go on up in between the third and the second wire. Pull it good and snug and wrap around the third base wire. Okay. And again, you're going to come up between the first and second and wrap around the second base wire. Okay. Make sure they stay close. And you come up and wrap around the first base wire. Okay. Now you remember how we went down. You're going to go clear over the first and second. You're going to pull through under the third wire and wrap around the second base wire. Okay. Then come down between the third and the fourth. Okay. And wrap around the third base wire one time. Okay. Okay. Sure they're close together. Okay. And then you wrap around that bottom one. Bring it between the second and the third base wire upward. And then wrap around the third base wire. Okay. Again, you're going to go up between the first and the second wire, base wire. Excuse me. And then you're going to wrap around the second base wire. And you're going to go up again to the first, over the first wire, and then simply wrap between the first and the second base wire. Okay. All right, so I'm going to open this up so you can kind of see it a little bit more. You'll see the pattern. It's kind of like a V. Right? It's kind of like a V there. Trying to get this to focus a little better for you all. Okay. There we go. So this is the pattern that you want. All right, so we're getting ready to go down. So you go all the way up and you wrap between the second and the third base wire. All right, bring it back up between the first and the second. Okay, let me move all my stuff out of the way. It's getting snagged. All right, and again, you're going to come down again between the third and fourth. Okay. Come back up and go through between the second and the third. And now you're back to the bottom again. And you can wrap it between the last one there. Okay. All right. Let's do it a couple more times, yeah. All right. So if you guys are like me, I sometimes forget and wrap around the bottom again. But I'm going to try to remember not to. Let you guys watch me again. Okay. Back up. All right. Did another one. We're going to come down this time between the second and third. Back up to wrap around the second base wire. Right, down again to the front between the third and the fourth. And we're going to bring it back through, up and back through to wrap around the third base wire. Okay. Very beautiful weave. Very beautiful weave pattern. So I am going to go on and fast forward through this and get this done to about 1.5 inches, and we will proceed on. Okay. Okay, so I broke the wire because I wanted to show you how to reattach if the wire was to break off. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So this broke really snug in a really bad spot, right in here. So what I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to unravel it till we get down here to the bottom. Okay. All right, so let's put that together. All right, so I already began pulling this through, unraveling since it broke off, and we want to continue to take it through. So I'm gonna, pretty much just go back the way that we came, and then continue on. Well, my children, you guys give me just a moment so I can have them to quiet down just a little bit, because it's a little bit too loud for me. But there we go. We took some of that out, and I'm going to show you guys how to reattach in just a second. All right, so I went on and unraveled what we've done up until we got to the middle wire. And sometimes you can go ahead and start back here, but what I'm going to do is wrap this at the bottom to go on and secure it through, and then we'll begin again. So, and usually with this one, and I apologize to you guys, there's 2 different ways that this one can be done. You can have it to where it looks the exact same way that it looks on this side here, the double, each one double. You can do that on this side as well. However, we didn't do that route, which would have made this securing this a little bit easier and a little bit better, a little neater. But we're gonna have to do what we gotta do anyways, and then I don't want to have to bring it all the way up here and re-secure there. So we're just gonna take this twice here, and we're gonna cut that little bit off. Okay, we're gonna make sure it's in a nice spot where we can kind of tuck it. You can tuck it really good, really secure. So take it, flip it over, and just tuck this in. Tuck it in and make sure there's no snagging edge. And push it close. So it looks good on both sides, by the way. It's a pretty great weave here. A little time consuming, but it is a good weave nonetheless. Okay, so now at this point, you can pretty much start completely over. You're going to grab your wire. Okay. And we're going on the up. So we're going to start right in here. Okay. Since we already have the 2 here at the bottom, we want to be able to, let me readjust slightly, you guys. All right, so you want to be able to continue the pattern on up to the top part without too much problem. So I'm going to just swing that piece over to the side, and then I'm going to take this here and begin to go up and start all over again and keep going. wrap around, and go up, and wrap around again here. So we have that one going up again, and then we have this piece here that is really not secure. So we're going to go on and take it back up and through as if we're going to put a piece here, and we're only doing it this way so that we can go ahead and secure it and have it snug. So I guess you can call that a little repair right there. Take it back through, you know, what they call the little stitch repair. Take it back through. I'm sorry, this is probably like not the best way to show you guys, but we're gonna do our best. And so now it's been wrapped around twice right there. It's nice and secure. It's not gonna come out. You can go ahead and clip, and the same way we did the other side, we're gonna do here to tuck and make sure that it's not going to snag anything or anywhere, I should say. So let's push it on down in between, and that's good. Awesome. That was awesome. All right, so you see how it kind of looks a little different, but we're going to keep going. So we're going to go and go down, and again between the second and third, back up between the first and second. Then we're going to go back down between the third and the fourth, back up between the second and the third, and then back down to the bottom, and go up, then between the second and third, wrap around the third, back up, between the first and the second, then we're going to wrap around the second, and then back up to the first one again, and wrap around the first. There we go. So not much of a hiccup between there. Still looks great, right? Still looks good, yeah. Yeah. So that would be the spot right here where we corrected that, and it looks pretty darn good, if I could say so myself. All right, so let's keep going. Okay, so I like to call it a 1-in-1, but it's actually a 2-in-1 weave. So let me try to explain it better in that way. A 2-and-1. Okay, so you go down 2, right? Go up 1. Go down 2. Go up 1. Go down 2, go up 1. Now you remember when I said that you could do it the same way? This is how you would do it the same way as you would do it up here. You see how I just wrapped it around that bottom wire, and then I brought up, you bring it up 2, and then down 1, like you would normally do. Okay, but because we're not doing it that way, I'm gonna undo that there, straighten that, and then we go up 2, up 2, down 1, up 2, come on, and down 1, up 2, down 1, up and over, down 2, up 1, down 2, up 1, okay, and down 2, up and over, up 2, down 1, right, up 2, down 1, up 2, or up and over, right, up 2, down 1, up and over, down 2, up 1, down 2, up 1, down and over, up 2, down 1, up 2, down 1, up 2, down 1, up and over, down 2, up 1, right, down 2, and up 1, down 2, over and up 2, down 1, up 2, and down 1, up 2, down 1, right, and over. And you keep going until you get to your desired length. So we're actually about at 1.5 inches, which means that it is the exact same size as our piece here. We're at the point now where we want to go on and secure it to the back. I'm going to be continuing this weave work as well. So let's go on and begin to get it secure. All right, so if you recall, we went on and secured the start of the weave. We can actually go ahead and clip that off, this little tail, because we don't need it. So I'm going to pull it over like so. And the way that I'm doing this, I want to be able to tuck it back through so that it is secure. Okay. Here we go. And I'm going to move these just a little so I can get in between there, you know. And there we go. And it's going to be flush with the other wires, and that's how we want it. We don't want to be able to see it, and we don't want to be able to feel it. So that was perfect. All right, so now we're going to go on and secure this side. Now, I think the best way would be to go on and slide it in like this and then bend them over and secure them here on the side of that wire. Just simply because we have more stability doing it this way. If we do it the other way, we're going to have a lot of movement going on. Okay, and now you're also going to see why we're going to continue the weave just a little bit longer, because we have a portion of this that's going to be toward the back when we begin to bring this one over to the top portion. All right, so of course we don't need it to be this long. So the first thing we're going to do is start folding over. So we're going to take our needle nose and we're going to go one by one. Okay, one by one, pick it up, bend it on over. Be gentle, take your time. You don't have to work at this all extra fast. Okay, all right, so we got that one over, and yes, we're going to do this one at a time. Okay, one at a time. So you can clip about there, knowing about how much you need to tuck. So clip it there. And you're going to continue bending this over and then clamp it down to a good little tuck there. Okay, so now you know it's going to be good and secure, especially with all of these wires here. So you're going to just make sure it's in there really good. Okay, so then we're going to go to the next wire. Gonna lift that up a little, get that good bend going. You see how tight I hold this wire? Wow. Then we're going to go on and bend and bring it on down. I'm going to do the exact same thing to clip and secure. You only need about, what is that? That's not even a centimeter, not even half a centimeter, maybe a third of a, one fourth of a centimeter. Don't need very much. Again, bring it down, clamp and tuck. All right, same way we did the first one. So squeeze in so that it can cup on under. All right, here we go. Squeeze it a little more tight. Good tuck like the first one. Okay, looks good so far. All right, so again, and do the next two the same way. Clip that again. I'm gonna cut just a little bit more off of that one because the second one we did was a little bit too long. All right, so pinch again, and tuck, pinch and tuck. Okay, and again for the next one, got pretty close that time. It's good. All right, let's cut out there. When you cut, you really want to hold the pieces because you can get pieces that shoot off like that. So I want to make sure we cut. And I'm going to zoom in so you can really see the tuck process. Okay, so you want to secure here and just press down. Okay. Okay. Press down to press the piece down at the top. Then you want to go and secure, pressing it down some more, and tuck. So the tuck is this part. You're going to go to the back, tuck it down. You're going to make sure they're all good and secure. Feels great. Feels good. Feels good. It's in there, it's good, and it's secure. Okay. Alright, so at this point, we have this beautiful weave that we're working on, and we still have some cord attached. We're going to use that. I'm going to take this and bring it around to secure our design the way we want it. Okay, so we're going to go on and weave this just a little bit more. All right, so now we're going to secure this onto the piece, and the way I want to do that is to take it around. It looks like we could have actually weaved a little bit more, so I am going to have to take it to the front. Okay, so again, I told you guys we're going to freestyle this, and you know, it's going to do what it do. So we got these two wonderful wires here, and then we have this one here. I think what I'm going to do is do a couple separate weaves here. That way we can also begin to use some of this base wire to create the bell as well with the base wire piece also. We might want to do something a little, maybe some type of a loop and bring it back around. As a matter of fact, I am going to do it with these before we begin a weave. I think that would be really nice. So I'm going to take it over and around and bring it to the front. Okay. Now, this one here, I think I will do some spiraling. You know, I think I'm going to pull this a little tighter, a little snugger too, around that base wire. Okay. Yeah. Just some little, you know, some decorative components to this piece. Now, what I love about freestyling pieces is that I just let my imagination run wild, however it wants to go, whatever it wants to do. So at this point, I want to do a weave here and maybe a spiral or so on one side. So I'm going to get more of the 26 gauge just because I want it to be uniform and not have the, you know, those crazy big long pieces or bigger, bulkier pieces, I should say, on this piece. So I'm going to go on and pull some of this out, and then I'm going to begin the weave with the spiral and show you guys how to do that one as well. All right, so we got about the same length as we had before. I went a little bit longer. Well, no, it's about the same. It's about exactly the same amount. It's just a little easier for me to work with. What we want to do is do a 10 and 2. A 10 and 2. So 10 and 2 means that you're going to wrap around one of the sides of the wire 10 times. Okay. And then wrap around both twice and then 10 again. I like it on the bottom one, so we're going to begin with the bottom wire, and you guys know how I like it. We're going to do the full spiral here around the base wire. So I'm just going to secure the tail of this one just up here, something that I can undo later on, just to secure it and have it out of the way. All right, and because we wrapped it around that base wire there, you're going to begin up there. Now I've already got kink in there, so that means that I have to be a little extra careful wrapping this. All right, so we're going to go around 10 times. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right? This is a very, very popular weave pattern because it's a very simple one, and I like it because it still looks elegant even with it being a simple wire. So you want to keep these base wires as straight as possible. Just to keep the elegance, you know, just to keep it looking really nice and elegant. So some things I like to do is take them and bend them together, same shape, same distance. All right, so we have our 10 wraps here, and we're going to go up and over both base wires, pulling them pretty snug, okay? And we're going to wrap twice. Okay, just twice. See how that looks there. All right, let me zoom in a little bit for you to see just a little bit of what's going on. All right, so that was just 2 times around both wires. Then you're going to go the 10 again. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, and you're going to pull a little, bring them together, make sure that everything is the way you want it. Bring these 2 together just in case they have separated a little, which they did. So bring them together, and then again the 2 base wires together twice, 1 and 2. So you get it now. So it's 10 and 2 again through the bottom base wire. I'm gonna go 10 times. So I got that one good and snug together. Okay, it's okay to open it up if you need to. So that was 1, and that's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, bring them close together. All right, so we have finished this up here. I'm going to go on and cut it off towards the back here, close as possible. I had quite a bit left over, by the way. This is just a different type of weave. It's not so intricate. So we're going to just make sure that this is secure good. All right. So now with this piece, I want to take it around and secure it towards the back, similar to what we did on this side. So we have space here to do the same thing. I'm going to take it and tuck it through. All right, so you got to bend the end the best way you can to get it through there. All right, once you get it through a little bit, you can go ahead and push it through. All right, and then grab your tools now. Use your tools, okay? Utilize your tools as much as possible because they will help you to have cleaner work. So I'm going to pull and do the same thing pretty much that we did on the other side to secure. We did both at the same time simply because we needed to pull it on around. So we can also go ahead and cut them. It's a little different when it's 2 as opposed to 4. And you've seen how I held it so it wouldn't fly or shoot across, the room, because it does do that. And you can take somebody's eye out with these types of things. So just be careful and utilize your tools and use safety precautions, okay? I do have on some glasses for my eye safety. I do have gloves for other things that I do. So you just want to make sure that you stay safe in everything that you do. All right, so now we want to pull and tuck again the same way we did the others. We're just going in the opposite direction. So here's 1 there, right? And we're going to work with that first one at a time so we can get it the way we want it to be. All right, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit again so you can see how to do this again, okay? All right. So, and it looks like I'm turned, you guys. So let me fix and reposition this really quickly. All right. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to turn this back upside down so we can go ahead and get these positioned right, and I'm right side up. I'm sorry. All right, so again, the same way you did the other side, you want to go on and push it together and tuck it down as far as you can. Okay, same thing with the other side. I'm going to take and pull it really snug, right? And then we're going to push it down and tuck. Push it down and tuck. All right, and that looks good to me there. So nothing to hurt or harm anybody. It's tucked away, no scrapes and scratches, right? All right, so back to the front. Back to the front. Now, we have the rest of this wire to figure out something that we want to do. And with 2 wires, your weave possibility, I should say, is endless. However, I think I'm going to do a pretty little loop here and bring it back up under this here. I think that would be really pretty. So here we go. So you want to make sure that you have this secure where you want it. So hold your thumb in place. Hold your thumb in place there to help you to not mess up the sleekness that you have for your design. And you're going to want to, and I'm going to use my fingers, and the reason why is because my fingers will keep things smooth, and it'll help me smooth things around the way that I want to. So we're going to be tucking this again up under the last weave that we just did. And so we don't want this wire to get too stiff, so we want to take our time as we begin to create a hook to bring that on through and around. Okay, so this is my hook that I'm creating. Okay, as I hold this in place, because we don't want to lose the integrity of that bend. We like that bend there, right? So I'm creating this hook that'll help me to keep a really pretty bend, and I won't have to manipulate so much getting it through. And you want to be a little careful too, because you can scratch up the piece, the crystal piece, so be careful with that part, right? And so I'm going to use a little help from my tools just to direct, especially since they are 2 different lengths, these 2 base wires. So I got one peeking through, and so we have to get the other one to come on through. I'm going to bring them over just a little bit, and then that should work there. Yes, perfect. It came on through the way I wanted it to, and we did not lose the integrity there. So now we're going to take our round nose. And you got to be careful because you can damage the wire. So you want to be careful not to damage the wire too much. And some things you just can't, it's just beyond your power. It's going to happen. Nothing you can do about it. But you just keep going and you do what's possible. So a nice weave pattern, a weave design will cover that up with no problem. Okay. So again, you know, this is a freestyle piece, and I love it when my Phoenix-Ism tribe allows me to be creative, allows me to do things the way I see them and the way I feel. They trust my creativity, and I love it. I love it. So we're about there on that side, and then we'll get this side on there good. So now that we have that, we can decide what we're going to do with the rest of this wire. Now, again, you can decide to begin another weave pattern if you like, or you can continue with how these 2 wires look together and begin creating loops and turns and things, which is something that I think I just might do. And I just might continue following, you know, the way this seems to be flowing. It's getting really nice there, huh? So if we take this here, and I'm thinking of giving a bend here. This would be about there. Back around here. Now you see it's not very long, right? We may not be able to secure this exactly the way we want to. Now we may have to secure back here, which is not a problem. So we have some bends in here that seem a little wonky and we may not like them as much. So we're going to take our round nose and help these become uniform with the other wire. And I'm going to move it a little bit here because I want to have more of a curve there as well. So now you see how they sit kind of flush. That I like. That I like. So because these are a little shorter, we're going to figure out a way to secure them here in the back, and it's still a very beautiful piece. When you come to this point where you have things to consider, you can decide to do so many different things, and because it's going to be secure in this fashion, we can bring this back around and give a nice little loop here. But we're going to make sure that we secure this first, and then we'll proceed with that. So we're going to grab that same weaving wire that we had prior, and we're going to use that to get this piece where we want it to be. All right, so there we go with that. And I have my piece still here. I think I'm just going to do a 2 and 2, just nice and simple, just to get it to where we want it to be. So I'm going to start here, and again, you know, I like to do my wrap first. So we got our 2 here, right? Bring it back around. Can you guys see me okay? Sorry y'all, I had to plug my phone up to finish this off. Let's move our tools out the way. And hopefully it's working. I need a longer cord, to be honest with you. Let me give you guys a little light here. Yeah, I need a longer cord, and I think I'm gonna go take care of that. All right, so I'm gonna go 3. I am going to go 3 and 3. Okay. Even though this is more than 3. Now, you know that I just like to secure. I'm going to go back around and remove one of those loops. Or, you know, I'll go on and do it now, just simply to save me, you know, some of that hassle. All right, so we're on the next wire here. And just to make sure that this is good and snug and secure, I'm going to go on and get this the way I want it to be. Okay. Pull that good and tight. All right, so you see that's 3 there. And then we're going to go, I'm going to go 2. And I'm going to take that second one up and over. See, and I'm going to cut some of this because I don't need it to be this long. It's giving me some kinks. All right, so I went 1 and I'm up 2 here, and because we want to secure it next to this piece here, I'm going to go on and take it on around this portion of this weave at the back. Okay, and you might have to kind of lift it a little bit, find the opening, which is what I'm doing now, to where you can get it in there good and snug. I do not have my tool that I use. I have a tool that I'll use sometimes similar to this. This is a file, but you can take it in there to lift up or to expand a space, so that that wire can come through without a problem. So what I did was just lift it up slightly, and so now I'm going to take it back between that same wire that we were wrapping around. Okay, so that gives us one level connecting it there. Okay, this just so happened to have been on one of the parts where it's two, so I'm going to secure it so that it's snug right in between those two wires there. Okay, and then we'll wrap around again on this one and get the 3 going on. Okay, and I think you guys might have missed it, but I'll show you again once we get a little bit closer. So we actually have the 3 here. Let me see so you can see. So now we actually have the 3 on this one right here, if you can see it properly. All right, so there we go. So now you see. All right, so once again it comes down to this one, and we're going to go around 3 times. Let me move this out the way, the little tail, and we'll wrap around 3 times here. Okay, and that's 3. Bring it back up, and we'll come over to the next one again. So I want them close, so we're going to make sure they stay close. All right. Okay. Now that top one, you see it's doesn't look the same, so we're going to squeeze them together, and then I like to just squeeze this down right in between there, so it's a little more uniform here on the top. Okay, so we're going to go to this next one, and we're going to secure this one again the same way. We're going to wrap it once and then bring it back around to the second one. We'll take it to the back again, and we'll wrap it up under it once again, and this will be the last one to keep this secure. So I still have an issue where I can't get it in there the way that I want to, so I'm going to slide it back a little bit and push it through. Okay, and you want that to go between that second base wire again. Now it's not going to be in the same spot, okay, but you're able to get that 3 again. Okay, so bring it around and you have that 3. Okay, all right, I'm gonna finish up securing this, and then we'll work on what we're going to do with these 2 ends here. So we have it there. We like to keep it neat, so we're going to push that down a little bit so it still looks like it's a uniform weave here. You're going to do it again here on this first one, so that's 1, 2, and 3, right? That's the third one, and then we have our tail right here. We're going to go on and cut it because we are done with that. Done with that portion, so let's cut that off, no problem, and secure. Okay, cut it off and secure. Squeeze those together. We'll make sure this is good and tight. Okay, all right, good spot. And we can also cut this side down and make sure that it is good as well, right there on the inside. Well, I can't seem to get it in there because my tip. So there we go. All right, so move all that out of our way and bring it on around. Make sure it's good and snug and secure. Okay. Make sure there's not going to be any snagging issues. So I can fix that. And so there we go. Okay. There we go. I can see just a little bit. I can see a little bit there. So there we go. Perfect. All right. So there we go. So now what I want to do is take this and begin a curl here for a spiral and bring this on around to it. So that'll seal this off and keep this safe. Keep this safe and secure. There we go. So round nose it is. I'm going to cut this. Well, no, I'm probably going to end up having to cut it anyways. All right, so like in the last video, I showed you guys how I like to do my spirals. All right. Start at the very tip. I'm using the small side of my tool. And here we go. Good, 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 good. And then I'm going to cut that very, very tip off because it's just not, it's not going to make this a perfect spiral. I want this as the best as I possibly can get it. All right, so go on and finish that spiral up. On around. And I think I'm going to leave it open slightly and bring it to about right there. So we want to have a better curve there. That's beautiful there. I think that looks really nice. And we can do kind of a smaller little swoop and swirl on this side. So here we go with this. Let's bring that around. And this one we won't have to cut because of how small it is, and just because we want to finish this off. I'm going to bring it up, and it's going to slightly sit on top of the other spiral. So there it is. Okay. I'm going to pinch it in just a little bit more. I like that. I like that. So there it is. There it is. I think it is beautiful. We didn't lose the integrity of the stone piece. You can still see the beautiful natural markings there. This is beautiful to me. It looks very feminine, and I think a lot of people, that's what they want when they begin to commission me for these pieces. I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to bring it down just so that it's not sticking out. So that it doesn't snag on anything, you know. So there we go. I think that's good right there. And I always take my tool and push it down a little bit closer to the piece. Okay. So now you remember we have the bell to make. So we're going to go on and get ready to do that part there. So now we're at the portion where we want to get this bail made. And let me zoom out a little. All right. All right, so with this bail, we're going to remove these pieces here. I'm going to remove this. Since everything is snug and secure, we don't need this anymore. I will probably go ahead and pull it back through if it will allow me, right? If this piece will allow me to, because it's actually right here, and because I wanna seal this off a better way than to just cut it here and just leave it sitting there. So I'm gonna. There we go. Oh, it broke itself. So there it is. And it is actually very secure. All right. So the bail. This can be a really, really simple bail. We have some really nice design work going on here. So we want to make sure that the bail matches what we have going on. So what I did was lean it forward. And I'm going to put this down lower, right in this section, right over these two wires. I'm going to make sure it's a nice size, okay? At this point, we're going to go on and loop it over. And to keep with the design, I'm going to bring it back around. Bring it as close as possible. Right? I'm going to turn this around because we want them to be the same size, okay? Same size. So we're going to do that side. And this is something that I like to do. I'll crisscross it over in the back like that. And so we can keep it the same size. I'll bring it around, right? And bring it up. Well, I gotta do it this way. Keep it the same size. And over. Okay, up and over. Like this. Okay. Alright. So, with it like this, and you have this piece here that's kind of sticking out, you want to take your pliers and just go on and bend it down. Bend it on down. Let me get you guys in focus. Alright. You want to bend it on down around this one here. And there it is. Right? There it is. And so now your bell matches your piece. Okay? That is it for this jewelry tutorial. This is a freestyle wire wrapped red howlite piece. Something a little simple, not so difficult. And I think that our Phoenix family, our Phoenix tribe, or Phoenix-Ism tribe member who purchased this will love it. Will love it. So, thank you so much for watching. We'll have another video up for you next week. Be sure to subscribe. Make sure that you hit the bell so that you get notified when we upload another how-to tutorial. Alrighty. So again, I am Phoenix Nadi, and thank you so much for watching. Head over to phoenix-ism.com to order your wonderful jewelry and to request custom pieces. Thank you again. Peace and blessings be unto you.